Hi, I'm Mike Lee with Team Horizon, and this is a Team Tech Tip. Today we're going to talk about something that Spectrum transmitters have exclusively that's called Model Match, a Spectrum exclusive. If you've flown with a programmable system for any amount of time, chances are you've crashed or you've seen someone crash because the model selected from memory wasn't the model being flown. Spectrum programmable transmitters are immune to wrong model syndrome thanks to Model Match. Model Match assigns each receiver its own unique code, which is bound to your Spectrum transmitter. If the model you select from memory doesn't share the same receiver code as the model you're trying to fly, the aircraft's controls won't respond until the correct model is selected. Spread spectrum radio transmission in the modern radio control system is a method of transmitting the radio signals across a wide band of assignable frequencies. It was designed as a method of sending messages by radio that defeated any efforts by unauthorized persons from intercepting the signal and gathering intelligence on the sender. You guessed it, this was done by the military to maintain secure lines of transmission. Even if a listener was able to find one of the frequencies being used to send the signals, they could not get the entire message as the signal was fractured by the system into bits and pieces, sent across dozens of frequencies in these seemingly random parts, and then received and decoded by the recipient with similar equipment that matched the sender's equipment. This is only a simplified explanation, as real thing is quite sophisticated. With spread spectrum as used in RC, the effect is generally the same as the military use and works by binding the transmitter to the receiver. Each transmitter has a globally unique identifier, GUID, to which receivers can be bound, ensuring that the receiver matches the spread spectrum pattern that the transmitter is using. This works in a manner that both transmitter and receiver are constantly changing through the different frequencies of the 2.4 GHz range. For the most part, the transmitter never changes its pattern, and this allows many receivers to be bound to this transmitter. The Spectrum system is unique in that it offers Model Match, in which each transmitter program for a particular flight model is bound to one and only one receiver. This prevents a user from operating his RC model while the transmitter is still programmed for a different RC model. In actual use, the radio simply will not work unless a correct model has been programmed on the transmitter. Allow me to demonstrate. What I have here is a symbolic drawing of what the signal might look like within the signal frame. The raised squares are the individual channels of the signal and should look a bit familiar to your servo plug sequence on your receiver. So when you bind the receiver to the transmitter in most any system, signal train will have this spot for the transmitter, GUID. Now the receiver will know the signal hopping sequence to follow with the transmitter. This last channel spot is what holds the information for Model Match. Each model set up in the transmitter is unique and separate. It will not be duplicated ever. The result is that when the transmitter tells the receiver to bind to the model alpha, it will bind to the alpha model. After this, anytime the receiver is turned on, if it does not see the model name alpha in the signal, the receiver will reject all signals. Okay, now it's time for a practical demonstration. What I have set up here is my servo simulator with a couple of digital servos and a Spectrum AR9020 DSMX receiver. It is powered by a standard 4-cell nickel-based battery. First, I'm going to bind the receiver to the transmitter. So, with the transmitter off, the receiver is turned on. You see the lights flashing on the remotes. And now we're going to bind our DX18 together with the receiver.
Binding. DSMX 11 milliseconds.
And now we have a bind. Everything's moving just like it should be. Now, let's just say we're flying along and we want to change models. So we go into our DX18, ask it to change models. We're going to go to a different model. The radio is still on. Now as we turn power on to the DX18, look at there, guys. No control, no response. The transmitter is absolutely fine, but the radio is not responding exactly the way it should be functioning. That's Model Match, guys. It refuses to respond because it's on the wrong program. That's what protects you. Now that you've seen Model Match in action, You can see that without having exactly the correct model programmed on the transmitter, the model will not operate, saving you from possibly damaging your model or injuring someone. It's a great feature and is found only on Spektrum radio systems. Check out the full line of Spektrum radio equipment at your local hobby dealer for more details, or go to SpektrumRC.com. I hope this video has been of assistance to you and helped you to enjoy your hobby even more. Stay tuned for more tips, tricks, and techniques that will enhance your hobby experience. I'm Mike Lee for Team Horizon, and you just got a Team Tech Tip. Thanks for watching.